Jonnu Smith's name is floating through the air again. Not like a whisper, more like a thud. It's out there, heavy, unavoidable. The kind of thing you feel before you even read it. One Pro Bowl. One historic season for a Dolphins tight end. And now we're talking about sending him away. People like to pretend this stuff makes sense. It doesn't. It's not supposed to. Here's the thing. Smith was the only Dolphins player named to the Pro Bowl last year. Just him. That's not an accident. That's not a coincidence. That's production smacking you in the face. Receptions. Yards. Clutch plays. The kind that rewrite narratives. The kind that win games. The kind you don't just replace like batteries in a remote. So how did we get here? Contract talks. That's where it always starts. Smith signed a 2-year deal last offseason. Solid deal. Fair enough. $4 million due in 2025. A couple of void years tossed in to smooth out the cap. The math doesn't look ugly. The numbers don't scream for chaos. And yet here we are. Because Smith wants a new deal. Not tomorrow. Not someday. Now. And who can really blame him? He set records. He bailed out the offense more than once. He delivered when Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle didn't. He made Tua look better. He kept drives alive. He carried weight. But the front office is hesitating. The same group that dished out new money left and right last year. Generous when it was convenient. Now they've gone cold. Cautious. Selective. Why now? Maybe it's the money. Maybe it's the precedent. Maybe it's pride. Or maybe they just think they can get by without him. That's the part that stings. The idea that this team could be better off moving him than paying him. And now Pittsburgh is calling. Because of course they are. The Steelers have a coach who knows Smith well. Arthur Smith. Same system. Same playbook. Familiarity. They know what they'd be getting. It wouldn't be a gamble. It wouldn't be guesswork. It would be calculated. But here's where things twist. Smith didn't show up to OTAs. Not alone, sure, but not present either. Was it a protest? A signal? Just timing? Hard to say. Easy to assume. He said it himself back in January, after the Jets game. He wants to stay. He said it with that weight in his voice. That tug. Miami fits him. FIU kid. Florida roots. This isn't just a paycheck for him. It's home. That matters. Or at least, it should. Still, wanting to stay doesn't mean taking less. It shouldn't. Not when you've put up 88 receptions and 884 yards. Not when you've outperformed every tight end in franchise history. Not when your value is right there, on film, on tape, in numbers. And it wasn't just stats. It was timing, game flow, impact. He had 100-yard games against the Raiders and Packers, sure. But go back to the Jets in December. Overtime. Ball in his hands. Every catch mattered. Every yard changed the equation. 3 catches. 44 yards. 1 touchdown. The kind that ends games. The kind that quiets stadiums. You don't just let that walk. But if they do trade him? If they really go down that road? Then what? Julian Hill? Pharaoh Brown? Tanner Connor? Hayden Rucci? Jalen Conyers? That's the tight end room. That's the plan. Those aren't replacements. Those are names. Developmental. Unproven. Experimental. Maybe one breaks out. Maybe not. Maybe you get lucky. But banking on luck isn't a strategy. It's a hope. A gamble. And gambles don't win divisions. And here's a wrinkle that won't go away. The Raiders. Remember them? They sniffed around trading Michael Mayer earlier in the offseason. What if this isn't just about Smith? What if this is about Ramsey too? 2 teams. 2 players. 1 opportunity to shuffle pieces. You think Chris Greer isn't looking at the map? So yeah, you could say the Dolphins have options. But none of them feel good. None of them make you feel better about losing a Pro Bowl tight end. None of them solve the problem. They just change the problem. And what about the locker room? You think they don't see this? You think they don't talk? They do. Players know. They watch who gets paid. Who doesn't? Who gets moved? Who's worth fighting for? It sets a tone. It defines the culture. And if you let your best tight end walk because he asked for a raise, what does that say? It says performance doesn't matter. It says loyalty is conditional. It says you're only as good as your timing.